I come from Miami actually. My mom is Peruvian, my dad Italian. So I've been living in France for the past almost 4 years. For the 4 years I've been here. So it's going to be 4 years now. I'm a center manager. I am the manager at Commerce. So I manage that center. I teach classes there as well, and I teach classes at different schools. I was hired as manager, so my whole time here, my position's been the same. Yeah. I was on vacation here and I saw an ad on a magazine or a newspaper, and then I wanted to figure out what it was all about, and when they called me for an interview, and that's how it all started. The fact that I create my own little world, within the classes that I have. I'm not really, it's kind of me by myself, but you just kind of make it your own with the groups that you have, and they all change from class to class. So it's always like a different thing and like a different vibe that's going on in the room. I think that's what the variety. It's probably what I like the most. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, I think it's nice to see. Yeah, you notice the progress, but it's nice to see the differences in also their way of speaking too, and like the accents that they get. Because when they're repeating after you, they're trying to imitate your accent, and so it's kind of funny to hear some French kids with an American accent, but I suppose it happens with the British accents as well. So, but I think as teacher, that you get to see the progress of the children, and then especially after you've seen them over a couple of years, then you could see much more of how they've gotten ahead with the language. And then as a manager at the centers, also you have the contact with the parents, and sometimes they have questions, and you can answer them, help them. A lot of them, obviously, they're investing on their children, so they want to know what they can be doing at home to help them. So you have that contact as well. That sometimes in the schools you don't. So in the Petits Bilingues you actually get to see the parents all the time. Well, I mean, it's definitely an advantage. I wouldn't. It's an advantage for sure. But I mean, I always look at them, and I always kind of read through them and see, definitely, so that I know what we're teaching that session. But I do adapt it a lot, to once I get to know the groups. At the beginning of the year, I follow it more closely. But once I get a good idea of what the groups are like and their levels as well, and the activities that they like doing, I make sure that I get the main points done. But sometimes I definitely adapt the activities so that the children would, I help them do what they like the most, Yeah. I do meet people, and when I'm here, sometimes we exchange ideas, or especially new teachers that come, they might have questions and where to find things, and if something isn't working, then while I'm making my copies, I'm answering those questions and helping them any way that I can. But so yeah, and then obviously the teachers that you meet when they come to work at your center, because then those people you'll see every week on the same day at the same time the whole year. So yeah. The cheese and the wine. Yeah. And well, the friends that I've met, and as opposed to America, it's also the quality of life. I think in France it's much better than in America. I feel like there's more spontaneous things happening socially than they would in the States. In the States you work a lot and you don't really have that much time off, which in France you do. So. No, I didn't. And I would have never in a million years thought that I'd be living in Paris when I was in high school. So I just never took it. So now I'm kind of, I should have, just by being with French people. Oh, wow. Yeah. For the future, I mean, assuming I stay in France, well, I'll be working here. I hope to stay at Commerce for a bit because I do like the center there and the people, and I think that, you know, I've been there for so long that I've built some good relationships there with those parents. So for the foreseeable future, that's what I'll be doing, yeah.